Salvador4Sheriff.com.
Welcome back to Law Talk, where if you have legal questions, we have legal answers. My name is Chris White. I do work injuries, automobile accidents, personal injuries, immigration, DUIs, and if you have any kind of legal question, I have a legal answer, or I will refer you to one of my friends that can get the right answer for you. We have elections coming up on June 3rd, and today we are honored to have Michael Salvador, who's running for Madera County Sheriff. You're number 2, right?
I'm the number 2 person in the department.
Is that kind of like a shoe-in for now? You're going to be the number 1 person, but you got to stand for an election.
Well, we'll let the voters decide, but I think I've got a pretty good shot at it.
All right. Well, what is the? Everybody talks about the prison overcrowding, the jails overcrowding. Is Madera County like everybody else with the overcrowding, or do you have some special circumstances?
Well, Madera County is sort of unique. It is one of only 2 counties in the state of California that the sheriff does not run its own jail. The county has a Department of Corrections. They run the jail at the direction of the Board of Supervisors.
So that's very, very different than what we have in Fresno. Margaret Mims is the sheriff here, and she's in charge of the jail. She doesn't have to go ask the Board of Supervisors or City Council or anybody to do anything with the jail, but you got a different process.
Yeah, we sure do. It is a 2-department process. It's been that way for the last 40-plus years. A unique environment to work in, to say the least.
All right. Is that better or worse, or is it about the same? Does it make a difference?
Well, I tend to think that for me it's an advantage. When I go and approach the Board of Supervisors for my budget, I'm worried about service delivery.
Okay.
And when I ask for a deputy sheriff, that deputy is going to come to your house if you call us, and I don't have to worry about, do I have enough money to keep a floor open on the jail or put a deputy out on the street. My department and my mission is solely focused on service delivery to the general public.
Okay. So is that less of a headache? Like you got one less thing to worry about because you don't have to worry about assigning the jail?
I believe it does take away one of the quote-unquote headaches that sheriffs statewide tend to have.
Okay. But maybe people don't care so much about the jail crowding. What they really care about is my concealed carry permit. Do people care about that? Do you get any questions about that?
That is the number 1 question I have faced.
For ignorant people like me, what is that?
It is the ability to carry a loaded firearm in a public place concealed, whether it be concealed in your vehicle, concealed on your person. It is the number 1 question that I've faced out on the campaign trail over the last year. We're in Madera County. I classify Madera County as a shall issue county.
Shall issue?
Shall issue.
Shall issue. Like you're going to get it.
You're going to get it. I ran that program for the last 10 years, and we have basically, if you're a resident of the county and you're not a convicted felon, you don't have a mental defect, and you're going to get a concealed carry permit if you want one. You go through the process, pay the fees, do the training, and
do they ever take it away if you're bad?
We can.
It doesn't happen very often.
No. In the 10 years I ran that program, I've taken probably 10 permits out of 3,900 away.
Okay, let me get an idea. I'm trying to figure out how many people are walking around packing. 3,900 out of what's the population?
About 150,000.
So that's like 4 out of 106. I'm trying to do the math, but
it's
2%.
About 2 to 5% of the population.
Okay, but they're not carrying all the time. So
no. A lot of people want to be able to travel with their firearms loaded.
Okay.
Well, in California, if you have a firearm in a vehicle, it must be in a locked box and unloaded.
Okay.
Well, the CCW allows you to have the loaded weapon.
Oh, okay.
So
Do you have to take a class and things? Or?
yeah,
Okay.
we give that class for free. I certify 16 vendors in the Central Valley. Very easy to do. A safe gun owner is some of the most honest people I've had the chance to meet over the last 20 years.
Okay. Well, everybody cares about the concealed carry permits, but do you have enough money, or how are you going to get more officers on the street?
Well, over the last 5 years, of course, the Great Recession took its toll on the county. In 2008, our budget was just under $14 million, and now it's down to 10. That left us with a 14 deputy shortfall. We didn't have to lay anybody off. That was good.
How do you get rid of 14 deputies without laying them off?
A lot of attrition.
Okay.
As people retired, we didn't backfill them. So
this is something that's been going on for a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight.
No. 6 years. We took a very proactive approach in 2007. We started basically the hiring freeze a year early. We could see this coming. And
that was
now,
7 years ago.
Yes. That type of planning and proactivity you must have in my position.
So how much money did you lose from your budget?
About $3 million.
And your budget in total is?
$10 million. A third of my budget
That's
went away.
a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
So do you got any plans to get more? You get more grants, or what do you do?
The department right now is about 25% grant funded.
Okay.
And we're maxed out there, but where I see an opportunity over the next 4 years is we're one of the small counties in California, under 250,000 in population. Those counties receive a stipend from the state of California that has no strings attached to it.
Okay.
So we see
small county, you could get a little bit of extra money to do something.
Yes, and
how much money are we talking about?
about $500,000.
So that's like a drop in the bucket. That's like an eighth of what you lost.
About an eighth of what we lost, but we do see bright spot in the economy. As long as the drought doesn't hold anything up, we're starting to see growth back. So
if the economy improves, you somehow get more money?
Yes.
Okay.
As the economy improves, people go back to work. Our tax revenues will increase, and our portion of that tax revenue will come back to the budget. We're starting to see that now, and like I said, if the drought doesn't hurt us, I can see that trend continuing. And by the end of my first term as sheriff, we will probably be back to our 2008 levels. That's my goal.
Wow, that sounds very complicated to me. I tried to follow everything that you were saying about the budget, but I mean, you plan as if the money's not going to be there, and then hopefully it comes in.
Yes, you always have two plans. You have your plan A and your plan B. What happens if the money doesn't come, or if the money does come? How do you most effectively and efficiently spend it?
Okay. Effectively and efficiently. Is there any inexpensive, intelligent ways to decrease crime other than putting more officers on the street?
Oh, absolutely. Kind of a three-pronged approach.
Okay.
A lot of the crime prevention programs went away in the mid-2000s, and as part of the triangle, you've got enforcement on one side, you've got corrections on the other, and then you've got the courts. Well, if any one of those three triangle pieces are weak, then you don't have an effective criminal justice system. So me as sheriff, you must make sure that your effect on the triangle isn't devastating.
Okay. I have a little diagram. It's not fancy, but
That's
you're
fine.
talking about law enforcement, like the police officers and the sheriff's deputies, I guess. Prosecution,
yes.
District Attorney's Office, and the courts. Is that
corrections?
Corrections.
That would be the jail.
Corrections, the jail. Okay, all right. We'll make that with some bars or something like that. Okay, here's the diagram. How does that work? How do they interact?
Any one piece of this if it fails, then the whole system fails. This prosecution set, your previous guest, Judge Hill, her and the district attorney's office are on this side of the equation. I'm on this side of the equation, and then the jail we just talked about is on this side of the equation. If you don't equally spread the new revenues across this triangle, the triangle will fail.
The weakest
link will
collapses.
just collapses.
So you put all the money on police officers in the street, but not enough on prosecution, or not enough on place where to put the people when they get convicted. Then something's
something
give.
fails. So what ends up happening is I arrest them, they go to jail and they get let out the back door. But the minute the deputies leave, or if they're held
because
here,
of the prison crowding,
Yeah.
the realignment is shifting over from the state prisons to the local jails.
exactly. If
This looks like it's the problem right now, right? No,
it can be effective management of all of these across the board is where the ultimate solution lies. No one piece of this puzzle cannot be discounted.
I think I would trust you as the sheriff for Madera County. You kind of seem like you know what you're talking about.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, you got to come back because we did not have enough time to cover everything. Maybe closer to the time, if you like.
Hey, yeah, invite me and I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Law Talk, where if you have legal questions, we have legal answers. And up next, we have my good friend Greg Mullinax, who does labor law and other things. I do work injuries and personal injuries, so sometimes we talk about things and they overlap. So we will be right back with